Now, the lycopene that Valensa sells is made by EID Perry of India, our parent company. And we sell oil, we sell water dispersible powder, we sell powders, and these are all easily absorbed in the body if formulated properly. And our company provides assistance on how to formulate them, and this is fairly straightforward with lycopene. Now, lycopene and all carotenoids will accumulate somewhat in your skin, and that's all a benefit because it gives you UV protection. It also gives your skin a nice tone. But overdoing lycopene, for instance, the anorexic females often that are seen by dermatologists with red palms, and yes, it does predominantly show up as red palms, that's doing too much of a good thing. So we'll talk about the proper dosage there, proper dosage being 5 to 10 milligrams a day. And all carotenoids, their effects are additive as far as skin pigmentation. And so we have to keep aware of the fact, what other carotenoids are you taking? What are the possible connotations of that? Now, you're not going to get sick, you're just going to look sick because your skin will turn yellow and your palms will turn orange. And it's just wise to keep your total carotenoid intake below a level of about probably 50 milligrams a day. And I've seen people that were taking 84 milligrams of lutein a day, and they were yellow. It was very scary. Healthy, but yellow. Now, this condition is called keratinosis, and it is not threatening as far as your health. You just look weird. Also, I highly recommend that if you have formulas with a lot of carotenoids in them, or your customers, if you're a retailer, are taking a lot of carotenoids, or what I would say below that 50 milligram level, you need to up the amount of vitamin D in their diet, because remember, it's like sunglasses for your skin. And where is vitamin D made? Well, it's made in your skin. So there is the possibility of vitamin D deficiencies if you're taking high loads of various carotenoids, including astaxanthin, lycopene, zeaxanthin, lutein, etc. And be smart about those formulations. Be smart about what you're recommending your customers. Now, it is a fact that males with high levels of lycopene in serum, which is not a great measure of lycopene, but the surveys all work that way, have a much lower level of prostate cancer. Places like Italy has a lower incidence of prostate cancer because of I think one of the factors besides other, I'm sure there's number of factors, but I think one of the main factors is the consumption of lycopene. And I'll show you another funny slide in a minute about that. I also think that lycopene accumulation in breast tissue can also help mitigate oxidative processes in the breast that happen in fat tissue, where the fat tissue goes rancid. Rancidity is an epoxide formation or peroxide formation. That peroxide breaks, you start having compounds that are known carcinogens. And I mentioned before that LDL and HDL fats in the body, that lycopene selectively absorbs into these things, especially LDL, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Now, I don't recommend a pizza as a source of lycopene, but the fact of the matter is that people that do eat a lot of pizza have less prostate cancer. How weird is that? And again, there's probably lots of vectors that cause cancer, but I believe that this kind of is suggesting that the possibility exists that lycopene can be protective and that sort of thing. Obviously, the rest of that stuff in pizza is all garbage, but I enjoy a slice every once in a while, just like I'm sure all of you do. Also, lycopene, you can buy synthetic lycopene, and it is a product that's used as a food colorant, but natural lycopene complex, like Perry's lycopene complex, contains other components from the tomato that have been shown to be very beneficial and useful. The lycopene has no pro-vitamin A activity. Vitamin A is important for your health, of course. You get it in the food you eat, but overdoing vitamin A is dangerous, and because of its link to lung cancer in smokers. And it's not a trivial link at all. Lycopene has no provitamin A activity, neither does astaxanthin. So, even a larger, like 5 to 10 milligrams of this is absolutely no issue. In fact, I think it's a big benefit. Another important thing is that, two other important things. One is that oxalates, which is oxalic acid, is very prevalent in tomatoes. And one of the reasons why, again, Italians, I don't know why I'm picking on the Italians today. Italians eat a lot of cheese with their tomatoes, right? Well, the calcium in cheese binds oxalate and keeps it from absorbed in your body. If you don't eat a lot of cheese with your tomatoes, you're going to get kidney stones, for sure, if you eat a lot of tomatoes. And those kidney stones are often oxalate or calcium oxalate. If it forms inside your blood vessels, it forms inside your kidneys, it's a rock. If it forms in your stomach, if by eating cheese along with your tomato, it's a rock, but it can't be absorbed by your gut, okay? So, when I eat a lot of tomato stuff, I always take a calcium tablet, calcium citrate, or I eat some cheese, and my favorite is Swiss cheese. Okay, so, I did want to mention that it's been shown that vitamin E accumulates in the prostate 162 times more than lycopene. And at very high levels of vitamin E, it becomes pro-oxidant. And people that recklessly put vitamin E into every supplement that they have to try to preserve it are just dumping more vitamin E in your body, and at some point it becomes pro-oxidant. In order to balance it out, you need to have astaxanthin, lutein, zeaxanthin, or lycopene in your diet, because those things prevent the vitamin E from growing pro-oxidant. Now, formulating with lycopene, do not mix with salt palmetto. It is unstable. Valensa has worked out a way of either using inner caps, capsule in a capsule, a tablet in a capsule, powder in a powder, or some other method. Keep them separate, and we can show you how to do that. It's a smart thing to do. Also use it with other carotenoids. Give people a carotenoid pill, if you will, and we think that a balanced diet of carotenoids and not exaggerating one over the other is the way to go. Now I'm going to talk about what you've all come here for, and that's xanthan XP3. Why do we call it XP3? Well, XP doesn't mean anything particular, but it is extra potent because it's much more absorbable, and our company's mission is to have more people eat a little bit of astaxanthin rather than having a few people take a lot. It's the 99%, and I'm not trying to espouse any particular political party in saying that. Now, this product, xanthan XP3, is super absorbable. It's available in bulk, soft gels, hard shells, you name it. We are the only manufacturer of astaxanthin. We're the only extractor in the United States that actually sells astaxanthin. And ours is an organic certified facility. We don't have any shellfish in our plant like some other extraction facilities do. So if you want a pure veggie product, we are a good source for that. The other source is Alga Technologies. We know that they're not extracted in a shellfish containing facility. Unlike our competitors, ours contains no safflower oil. Safflower oil causes instability of astaxanthin. One of our competitors publishes a shelf life of about 1 year at 8 degrees centigrade. Who keeps their product at 8 degrees centigrade? It just doesn't happen, and if you own a store, you know what I'm talking about. We add perilla oil. What is perilla? Perilla is that leaf under your sushi. That's a segmented leaf. It's a member of the mint family. And it has the highest ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 in the business, in the world. It's a 6-to-1 ratio. And if you mix astaxanthin with a heart-healthy oil like Perilla, you are getting a much better dispersion of it. You get much better absorption. We also add sunflower phospholipids. Most of you look at that label and it says, lecithin. Well, lecithin is actually a very interesting molecule, and it helps oils disperse and be absorbed in your body. It acts as a soap. It acts as a surfactant. And we use non-GMO, non-soy lecithin to make our product. And we recommend 2 milligrams a day, 4 milligrams for an active lifestyle. Now, checking the facts. Don't believe the 12 milligram per day astaxanthin hype. First of all, that's a very expensive thing. If you've got a bottle of 50, 12 milligram astaxanthin products, they'll last you a year. Okay? You can take one a week. I recommend 2 milligrams a day, and with a 3.7 absorption factor, it still is highly absorbed and highly bioavailable. Even 1 milligram a day of astaxanthin accumulates. Even the amount in most krill oils will bioaccumulate at a much slower rate. I recommend 2 to 4 milligrams a day. That's a real good number. And if you have a super absorbing formula, you don't have to worry about it not being taken up in your body. Now, what about astaxanthin in flesh? Well, not too many people talk about that in this business, but it does accumulate in your flesh. It doesn't accumulate in your blood. That is baloney. Now, if you take a salmon that eats micrograms of astaxanthin a day by eating algae, if you look at flamingos, they eat micrograms and they turn pink, right? Well, a salmon has 3.8 milligrams of astaxanthin in an 8-ounce serving, and a life expectancy of a salmon is only 3.5 years. The average salmon weighs 1.6, so it has 25 milligrams of astaxanthin in it, and it just eats micrograms. So I'm not saying humans are comparable to fish, but yeah, in this particular case, as far as accumulation, they are.